So, do you guys believe in the existence of mermaids? Since we were kids in school, we were always taught about dinosaurs, and this seems like common sense to us because we were able to find skeletal remains. But if someone had just told me about these without the actual evidence behind them, I would have thought you were just describing some mythical creature. Like, look at this. Does this look real to you? But what about the findings of the remains of mermaids? And all of the sightings? Mermaid sightings and stories date back to 30,000 years ago. So many people from across the world, from across multiple cultures, have the same descriptions and similar stories. So how did this happen before we were even connected through the internet? Here are cave paintings from 7,000 years ago depicting what looks to be humans and mermaids fighting. Here's a skeleton that was found in Bulgaria. Here's a sighting from Nashville and another sighting in Vietnam. I don't understand how people can believe in aliens but totally write off mermaids as non-existent. While we've only explored 5% of the ocean and 4% of space, there's been several unexplainable underwater civilizations, weapons such as spears that have been found under the ocean. Are these just from sunken ships, or could it possibly be from mermaids? I remember sitting down in 2011 so excited about the documentary that was coming out about mermaids. Animal Planet was really building us up for some actual evidence. And then by the end, we just see this and realize it's fake. I was so disappointed, but it also made me think on how a mermaid would even exist. Well, one theory is called the aquatic ape theory. It's theorized that once we split off from apes in evolution, some of us ended up in the water potentially from trying to fish, which ended in these half-human, half-fish hybrids. It's also suggested that maybe we just came from marine animals entirely. This isn't fully supported, but it could explain why maybe some people have webbed fingers or webbed toes genetically. We also have very flexible spines and can hold our breath underwater longer than any other land creature, which as of right now is 24 minutes. But are mermaids evil? Well, there's apparently different species of mermaids, each residing in different areas around the world, sirens being one of the most evil and malevolent species. I always think of the sirens from Harry Potter when I think of these. Sirens can lure you in with visual and audio manipulation. They utilize songs to put you in a trance and bring you close enough to them so that you can see their true form. Usually they look frightening like this and have really long, sharp teeth. And this is when they kidnap you and keep you forever. And apparently a lot of people in the Caribbean area have experiences of being abducted by mermaids. I was watching this girl's video about how to make a deal properly with a mermaid. And apparently if you want something like to be healed or to be wealthy, usually a mermaid will want something in return. It can be something as simple as salt all the way up to a child or a relative. Mermaids apparently have the ability to keep you breathing underwater. So it's not that they're drowning the person you give them, it's just that they're holding them hostage underwater. But if they're feeling nice, they'll let you see them once a year. So has someone ever caught a real mermaid? Well, apparently the closest thing that we've had to a real sighting of the mermaid is at P.T. Barnum's world-famous exhibition. You know, the guy that The Greatest Showman is based off of? Well, in 1842, he had a specimen of a Fiji mermaid that he showcased. And later on, he ended up admitting that this was a mix of a dry carcass from an ape and a bottom of a large dried fish that came from a Japanese artifact. But later on, an actual mermaid was sighted in the Indian Ocean, and he paid a lot of money for it. There are posters everywhere advertising it, and he could not wait to show it to people. But on July 13th of 1865, his museum in Manhattan mysteriously burned down, and his mermaid disappeared. In 2010, when people were cleaning up Barnum's relics for his 200th birthday, they found an old black and white photo of the mermaid. And apparently this is the closest example that we have to a real mermaid. If you guys want to see even more sightings of mermaids, go to my Instagram.